We're back from our episode of Libertarian Uncensored podcast. Let's get right back into it. So, Florida businesses aim to counter any backlash from the government's conservative policies from NPR.org and by it from Harumph, and that is, I think that would be justified. I personally think businesses should be able to do whatever they want as long as they don't violate the NAP. I don't think the NAP is being violated there, so I think they should be able to counter the census policies however they want to. Then we have everyone wants to regulate AI. No one can agree how, and that's an archive link from I don't know exactly where. The link's not loading for me currently, but I think it's Wired, but we'll say Wired or it's by Harumph. So, yeah, I do agree everyone wants to regulate AI, and, yeah, so I definitely don't think we should be justifying regulating a lot of stuff, but, I guess people will justify what they justify when it comes to AI, and hopefully we can, get that to advance soon, and, hopefully it doesn't get too, Skynet on us and try and take us all out. Yes, you have to negotiate with your colleagues to get things done in the Congress. That's actually the entire point of the job. You utter hack from this tweet from Hannah Cox. And that was about Bowman saying, oh, the Republicans are economic terrorists. And, yeah, I'd say fuck him. He just kind of screams at people and calls people buzzwords, when they disagree with him. But he's right that the Party are economic terrorists who hold the economy hostage for stuff like the Federal Reserve. So I'd agree with him on that part. Yeah. GOP lawmaker calls LGBTQ plus community a disease and says it's contagious from Kage blah blah blah, and that is from LGBTQnation.com. And I personally wouldn't go that far. Yes, but I'd say that, I think that just the pervasiveness of the LGBT community is kind of why there's such a big backlash for them currently. I really wish they would kind of just keep themselves, but, I guess that's the libertarian position is you should be you can be annoying as annoying as you want, and as one note as you want, as long as it doesn't violate the NAP, I would say. So, yeah, I definitely think this is going too far, I would say, yeah. 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 Then we have no actual malice in Daily Beats describing a Pennsylvania judge's QAnon link from Reason.com, and that's by Ninja Lover. And I think, people should be able to describe people however they want. If you want to, even if she wasn't QAnon link, they should be able to describe her as QAnon link if they feel like it, so that's my fault there. I think the courts are, they should be able to call people whatever they want to. Lawyer apologizes for using ChatGTP for an affidavit from BusinessInsider.com. That's the thing where people are increasingly seeing people turn and use AI, and we'll see how pervasive it becomes. I personally don't really care for it, so yeah, I personally prefer my own thoughts. So yeah, so that's my thoughts there. Then we have r/libertarian sucks for by Blazery22, and that's supposed to be how they don't really care for it. They need for libertarian for libertarian subreddit because I guess they don't like the submission statement. I personally think it's all the censorship, and I don't really care for that. I personally think we need to have less censorship or as possible, and yeah, that's my thoughts there. Yeah. And we have fix-it culture is on the rise, but repair legislation faces resistance from NPR.org. And I guess that's I think that's my thing is if you want to repair something, I don't think you should need the government's approval to do it. So I would agree on that part. Don't let the culture world distract you from the real issues. That's the meme posted by LP Missouri, but I added the slogan there, and I said yeah, it was the trans beer is distracting from who's on the Epstein client list. I think we gotta really find out who's on that Epstein client list, and hopefully we'll do that soon, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. Probably not in our lifetimes, I would say. Yeah. Then we have, I feel like some people in the subreddit are already on the bottom line already, and that's a cross post I made from the Political Compass meme subreddit. It says, the state starts ass wiping program people in 5 years without government who would wipe our asses. And I said, if you want to have a federal agent wipe your ass and tuck you into bed at night, I think you should be able to do so, but don't force other people to if they don't want to. That's my thoughts there. I don't think. And one guy, and Willpower commented, if the government mandated wiping your ass, and every freedom fighter would stop wiping their asses. I think that's a good argument. And I personally probably would ask even if it was mandated, if it was mandated, but I don't think it should be mandated. I think if people don't want to wipe their ass, they shouldn't be forced to wipe their ass, and that's my fault on that issue. Is TPUSA an LGBTQ organization? No. What kind of organization is it again? From RollingStone.com. That's from Patom13. And yeah, so that's the story is Charlie Kirk's TPUSA turned up with a registered sex offender, so that's not good, I guess. They're all. Seems like everyone's a registered sex offender at this point, I would say. So, not too surprised. But, I think, the thing is that, there's going to be bad faith actors all around the political spectrum. That's important to remember. Moms for Liberty leader says Biden teachers are turning kids queer. She said LGBTQ plus issues are just tools to erode away at parental rights. From LGBTQNation.com by Kali blah blah blah. And I would disagree with that. I do think they are kind of pushing a lot of LGBTQ content at schools with stuff like the genderqueer book and This Book Is Gay. But I don't know if you can necessarily turn kids gay. I think it's more like they're trying to push it as something that's cool, and that's kind of that's what I think that is kind of what you see these days. But yeah, I definitely don't think it would be isn't a reason to censor anything as long as the parents are consenting to it. So I would say. Then we have, should I run for the Libertarian nomination for President of the United States of America? I'll abide by the results from my story on Twitter. I posted that. And I said I voted yes because he pisses off a lot of the normies on the subreddit. So, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, he did. It was 64.6% voted yes and 35.4% voted no. So I guess he might be wrong for president now. We'll see how that turns out. White House and GOP reached a deal in principle to stop nation from defaulting from NPR.org. And I said, yeah, it was all theater, like pretty much all politics is all, and yeah, so that's just yeah. Then we have FNEN Weekly Review 521 to 27, 23 by Busy Character 858, and that's just a look at I think all their libertarian podcasts and all that. So I'm not going to really go into that too much. Yeah. Rampant child abuse occurs in churches, not at drag shows. Will there be a call by Republicans to ban minors from church? From MSNBC.com. I personally don't think you should ban minors from church, but I think if you want to make the argument to ban minors from church, you should be able to, and I think if you want to make the argument you should ban minors from drag shows, you should be able to. But I think kids shouldn't be banned from anywhere. I would say so. That's my thoughts there. As long as the NAP isn't being violated, and I don't think the NAP is being violated at either of those places. There could be the NAP violations happening there, but not if they're just by existing there. I would say. Texas House launches historic impeachment proceedings against Attorney General Ken Paxton. Republicans holding Republicans accountable? Question mark! Exclamation point from Chi-Town. Idle 20. That's from APNews.com. And I guess it's always interesting when when politicians try and hold everyone's accountable. You don't really see that too much. I'd agree there. Then we have what makes you view a source of 40 as legitimate. And I posted that, and it's a self-post, and I said, I'll keep my answer short and sweet. If I want to view a source of 40 as legitimate, I will do so, and if I don't want to, then I won't. I think that's a very libertarian ethos. I said, I guess force is probably one of the big factors as well. Even if force, I don't think you should be forced to view someone who has the monopoly in force as legitimate. Like the U.S. government, they have the monopoly in force, but I don't think you should be forced to view them as legitimate either. I would say. So I think the thing is that I think people should think for themselves what's legitimate and what's not, and if they don't want to see nothing as legitimate, I think they should be able to. That's my thoughts there. I think people should really just come to their own conclusions there. Study finds that school choice improves public schools from ScienceDirect.com by Ruin My Circle Jerk. And yeah, that's interesting. I guess yeah, I would agree with that. But yeah, any science can and will be manipulated to push an agenda. I would say so. That's important to remember as well. Has Pennsylvania come up with the dumbest gun law yet? From Washington Gun Law on YouTube, and I posted that. And I said, let's serialize every bullet and force everyone to get rid of their own ammunition. What could possibly go wrong? Luckily, the GOP controls states and will likely strike this down. Fuck the GOP, would definitely have or better on the Second Amendment. I think you shouldn't be having all these things being able to be tracked by the government because if the government can track anything, what's to stop them from tracking everything? That's the thing. And then what about guns that are printed out so they can't track those? The thing is that the government is gonna if the government can justify tracking some things, it's probably gonna just try tracking everything, and soon you'll have no freedom whatsoever. And that's I think the big issue here. Uh, we were so close. Now they got you all fighting over cultural stuff. Will they rob you all blind worse than ever? From Spike Cohen on Twitter, and I posted that. And that's the link. He posted the cartoon of the Occupy people on the right, and they said the Tea Party on the left saying this is the problem. They're not big government, and the Occupy people on the right, and they said no, this isn't it's big business, but it's behind them. The buildings are actually one big government and big business. And I said yeah I definitely think the culture wars kind of distract from the real issues that the government, the corporate entity is controlling the society right now, and that's important to remember. And yeah, uh, I think we were almost close to realizing that, but I don't think we've ever been close to dealing with it, and I don't think we'll be close to dealing with it for any time in the foreseeable future because they have the power right now, and that's gonna be hard to get out of their hands. Erdogan has claimed victory in Turkey's presidential runoff election from NPR.org by Harumph. I don't really care for Erdogan. I think he's an authoritarian jerk, even more so than a lot of U.S. politicians, which is saying something. But the other candidate wasn't too good as well apparently. So that's just Turkey for you. I guess people think the U.S. is so bad, but other countries they're pretty not too good either. That's the thing. Grass is always green on the other side, I would say. Jan 6 rioters are raking in thousands in donations now that the U.S. is coming after their haul from NBCDFW.com by Harumph. And I think yeah. So, I think, if people want to donate to anyone, they should be able to. If people want to donate to, Vladimir Putin, I think they should be able to. So that's my thoughts there, I don't think any donation should be illegal. I think if you want to donate to anyone, you should be able to do so. That's my thoughts on that issue. If it's like Putin, Putin's probably a war criminal, so against most U.S. politicians, you can still donate to them. So that's my thoughts there. College students are mad that we aren't in the free speech zone from Abolitionist Risings. They're a pro-life group, I think, yeah. But I'm more on the pro-choice side. But you just can't have these free speech zones, especially at public universities. Like in this video, they go to Wichita State University and say, "Oh," and their students are saying, "Oh, you can't speak here. This isn't the free speech zone." I'm like, I really have no hope for the future when it comes to free speech. These people want the entire world to be their safe space, want the free speech zone to be just like 5 square feet in Wyoming. So that's my thoughts on that issue. We gotta stand up and support free speech, even if it's speech that we disagree with, I would say. Health officials delayed report linking fluoride to brain harm. Dental groups urge HHS officials to alter report they believe threatened water fluoridation from Salon.com by Harumph. Salon's usually a pretty biased source, but that wouldn't surprise me, because the government is corrupt and it's all prone to these private interests, I would say. And this is just one of those examples of that. More evidence that Biden's private sponsorship migrant parole policy reduced illegal migration by making the legal kind easier from Reason.com by Harumph, and I think I guess you could argue that. I think that is good argument. I'm personally more on the pro-immigration side, so I think that'd be good. Debt ceiling agreement gets thumbs up from biz groups. Jeers from some on political right from NBCDFW.com. I think, I personally think, it's not too good, either from a left wing or a right wing perspective. Because left wing, they're cutting some benefits. Right wing, they're just not really doing anything, just pushing the rocker along. But, it's all theater. It doesn't really matter, I would say. I need an answer from Blazery22 is next. And they said, what's your opinion on Vivek Ramaswamy? I said, probably the most libertarian of the GOP nominees, but I probably wouldn't vote for him, still vote LP over him. And of course, he's saying he needs the military to be involved in Mexico and ban social media for kids under 16 and raise voting age to 25, except for military and some other exceptions. But yeah, I'd say the problem isn't him being good. It's the other armies being worse against libertarians. Though Hutchinson and Elder might come close to him in that regard. They're relatively libertarian as well, I would say. So that's my thoughts on him. Yes. Then we have who is behind the No Labels Political Action Committee bankrolling Christian Smith from boingboing.net, and apparently it's some Rupert Murdoch, maybe Rupert Murdoch. Apparently, I don't know. Let's see, what's Scott's on? It says it's Murdoch. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But the thing is that a politician getting funding from unscrupulous actors, stop the presses. They're all kind of corrupt grifters, and that's important to remember. So I think that not too much new content on the subreddit today, and I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.